Hi, today I'm going to make a chili con carne with this amazing piece of beef. It's a beef brisket, really cheap cut of beef. This joint here I got on the reduced section in Tesco's for, I think it was like £4.50 I think it was. Original price would have only been £8, and obviously for the size of it you can just see how cheap that is. So with this it needs a lot of cooking to make it, tender. So today I'm going to be using a slow cooker. If you don't already have one of these are fantastic. You don't have to have them, but if you don't have them, obviously just do it in a saucepan and put it in the oven for ages. I mean, I'm cooking this now and I'm going to go to work, and then sort of 6, 7, 8 hours later it should be done, and I can show you later the finished result. So I need some onions. This is going to make loads as well, a good few days. For my lunch tomorrow and dinner tonight. So onions, some garlic, some dried chilies. If you don't want them, use fresh chilies. Some oregano, some smoked paprika, some cumin, some tomato puree, some perrins, salt and pepper, and I'll be back in a sec. So on this plate here I've got a combination of spices. I've got cumin, smoked paprika, salt and pepper. To that I'm just going to add some dried oregano. And basically what I'm going to do is just roll the brisket in that, just to really get that marinated. So when it sits in that slow cooker, it's marinated in all those spices all day. And there you go, brisket all nice and fully rubbed. And then this will now go into the slow cooker with all the other ingredients. Right, so over here we have, in the slow cooker, we have the 2 tins of tomato, chopped tomato, some tomato puree, some chili, some dried chili, some chopped garlic, some chopped onions, some perrins, and basically going to give that a nice stir around. If I can find my wooden spoons. Yeah, that one will do. So give that a nice stir in around. Then we're just going to go sit that brisket on top of all that. So the brisket's now sat on top of all that lovely veg and tomatoes, and obviously all the excess herbs and spices that are left on the plate all brushed in there as well. As you can see, it's not very covered at all, so I'm just going to top it up with a nice bit of water. And there you go. Basically now that will just sit there, in there for, turn it on low, sit in there for a good sort of 8 hours now, and then when it's cooked, the brisket will just completely fall apart, and we're just going to rip it all apart into like nice chunky bits of meat, and all the juices from the meat will go into the sauce, and we'll take the brisket out first and sort the sauce out, and make it all taste nice, and reduce it so it's thicker. Then put all the beef back in. This is great, it can be just left for ages. It's just good few meals. This is also can be done great with a pork shoulder as well, and great pulled pork. Yeah, thank you very much. This has been cooking away now for just over 8 hours. So you can see that there's loads of liquid in here now. All the juices from the meat have run in there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this lump of brisket out, take all the string off, and then pull it all apart. And then I'm going to reduce this so it's a lot thicker, and then add the other ingredients. Beautiful. Right, so we're going to put this onto the heat. Get this boiling away. Right, so then just take out this beautiful bit of brisket. And pop that. I mean, I'm putting it straight into a roasting tray just so it's got room so it doesn't spread it all out all over the sides of the plate when I pull it. Right, so that's on the heat now. That's just going to let that bubble away, and then I'll add the other ingredients in a minute. And then, right, let's get on to pulling this brisket. So if I just move things around a minute. So there it is, beautiful bit of brisket there. So what we're going to do is just get a knife and a fork, just cut down And then find these bits of string. Basically just take all the string off. Not going to be a nice and clean job this, but believe me, it's worth all the effort. Right, so then now just with 2 forks, literally just pull the meat apart. And because it's been cooking for such a long time, look, it's just falling apart. It's just fantastic. So what I'm going to do is just pause this, and then I'll come back when it's all pulled. Voila! And there you go. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. You know, some bits are nice. You know, big chunky bits. You know, and you've got little tiny bits. You know, it's just all adds to the different texture of the dish. Obviously, this is a treat. You know, normally I'll do this with mince. But yeah, there's this nice treat. I saw this on the reduced section, like I said, and you know, it's a nice, great treat for a good couple of days worth of food there. Right, so this is bubbling away. This is absolutely just what I want. Right, I'm just going to stir it with bubbling away and reducing down nicely. So what we're going to do, obviously, because this is really runny, we're going to add a little bit more tomato puree. Nice squeeze of that in there. Then we're going to go ahead and, you know, obviously everyone's tastes are different. To bulk mine up more, I'm going to put mine. I've got some mixed beans instead of kidney beans. The same beans as I used in the paprika potatoes. Just tin it in water. Just drain the water off. Give them a wash. Then just pop them in. So I've put the beans in, and now I've just put in about 6 or 7 quartered mushrooms. To be honest, there's no rules to cooking. You know, as much as there's traditions and there's things like that. There's no rules. I mean, I'd put anything in there. Green beans would be great in there. Some mange too. Just obviously be careful of the cooking times. So the mushrooms you can't really overcook that much, so I'm going to let that now reduce right down. And I've got a couple of dried chilies in here that I'm going to, now they've refreshed and replenished all their juice, I'm going to take them out and finely dice them, or just chop them up roughly, and then add them back into it. Yeah, and just to be honest, just put in there what you like, like the flavour of. If you like kidney beans, put kidney beans in. And then we're going to reduce that down a couple more minutes, and then we're going to put back the beef into there and just return that to the heat again. Been bubbling away. We've got the meat back in there now. We've got the beans and mushrooms. And please, feel free to add whatever veg you want to this. It would just work well with anything. To serve this, I'm going to serve mine with some fresh coleslaw I made a minute ago. That's now going to marinate now in the fridge for an hour, just before dinner time. Or you can have it with your sweet potato, your baked sweet potato again, or some sweet potato chips even. I'll do another recipe on them one day. Or you can have some whole wheat or corn tortillas and make it up like a burrito. I hope you all enjoy, and I will.